So besides walking my dog Cody and painting, one of the things that I enjoy doing for stress relief is gardening. And I really like to garden on the cheap. I like to use perennials because they come back every year and I don't have to pay to replenish the garden beds. So just like with my whimsical garden boot upcycle video, which you can watch next if you're interested, I divided some perennials from the front gardens and tried to create an English cottage garden vibe. I didn't want to pay a lot on landscaping things. So if you enjoy DIY yard and garden makeovers on a budget, join me out back. Really messy before, so I'm thinking about moving the swing over to this spot. That way I can put in like a little English garden like midway where that carpet is, and eventually get like a little rock border and a bunch of perennials, and hopefully that'll be a nice way to get some flowers in the backyard. And I'll show you that after in a little while. Luckily, I already had, like I said, the perennials and also some supplies like bags of soil from a vegetable garden expansion that I did, as well as some weed barrier fabric that I put down. Here, I'm just grabbing some plants to move to the backyard, starting with some sedum, digging up some volunteer mums, and dividing some black-eyed Susans. So these are tomato stakes, but I thought they were kind of cool sculptural things. And so I was gonna have to put 3 in here just for looks. And yes, I did plant a big old stick in my garden. I've got a plan for that you'll see at the end. So it's a perfect day outside. You can see that some of my bulbs are coming up. My irises already bloomed, but today I'm going to be putting in some edging I got on Amazon. I'll provide the link below if you like the way it looks. It seemed easier than a lot of them, and it's just going to help me keep my wood chips where they need to be and the weeds out. So I'm going to get started before it gets too hot today. It's got teeth, so some people just pound it in depending on how soft the ground is. I'm actually going to be making a little pathway with my flat shovel. So this is what it looks like. It's going to be a little bit above the ground, so it comes with 2 stakes that are going to hook it into the ground at the beginning and end so it doesn't just pop up. So we'll see how easy it is, but I think it's really going to help keep the wood chips in and instead of creeping out into my yard. It says the required tools are a spade and a mallet, so moisten the soil. Well, it rained last night, so I'm going to skip the moisten the soil. So I guess the stakes are also if you're going to order more and you need to overlap the edges in order to continue. And after you put it in, make sure to backfill it so that it's plenty sturdy. The name for these is kind of fun, Lawnshark Company. first I'm going to lay it out and kind of unwind it. I definitely think this wouldn't be working if I hadn't first cut the ground with a shovel. A lot of people said as they hammered it in, it would pop up where they'd just been. That's why I think putting the spike in at the beginning is essential, and also going back and tapping it. Fully unrolling it and sticking it in the pre-dug groove is helpful too. So some of the bulbs that I planted that are coming up are freesia, caladium, calla lilies, dahlia, glads, and more, and I'll try to update you when they're blooming. Well, that was 30 feet of edging, and it only took about 30 minutes. It's definitely going to make mowing whenever this spot grows back in a lot easier. I've got some edging in the front, and that's really helped keep the flower beds nicer looking and easier to care for. And what I really wanted to create that cottagey feel were some big, irregular landscaping stones. Now those cost quite a bit if I was going to go to a landscaping store, and I was considering looking on Craigslist to see if anybody was getting rid of some rocks for free. But I didn't actually get that far when an opportunity landed in my lap, and I was so excited. I had bought some handmade candles from a friend. She brought them over, and she was talking about how, trying to get their house ready for sale, they were actually going to cover their front flower beds with mulch. Now I knew what her flower beds looked like because I had done some ninja gardening over there, which you might also recognize from this video. And so I realized she had all these rocks and she was going to cover them with mulch. So I asked, is there any chance that I could swipe them from you? And she said yes. So I got 4 loads of big rocks for free. It was amazing. Some nice big rocks. It's only the first load actually. Now I want to add some visual interest with the rocks that I got from my friend's place. So I'm going to go load them up in the wheelbarrow and then line them up. Go inside and cool down, bud. What do you think of my rocks? Do you like them?
Yeah, I love them.
Nice. So, do you remember the before? Well, we all know that landscaping adds value to your property, but more importantly, it adds enjoyment to the space. Now, my husband's not somebody who normally comments on the appearance of things, but he did say that he really thought that this made a big impact in our yard, and he's really glad that I did it, even though at the beginning, he couldn't really visualize when I pitched the idea to him. One of the things that I noticed right away was that actually adding stuff to the area created more of a sense of space, ironically. And I think that's because as soon as you come down the stairs, you're not walking into the swing like we used to. There's like a visual pathway along the rocks to follow to get to the swings, and the bark and mulch and everything adds a sense of depth. So if you want to landscape on a budget, definitely try to network. If you don't know anybody with rocks like I do, check Craigslist or maybe join a local gardening group. There's plenty of regional ones you can join on Facebook and learn a lot more and plant swap hopefully too. Cody's chasing birds. Did you find a squirrel? Anyways, if you enjoyed watching me transform a pretty boring backyard into what I think is a charming backyard flower garden, would you please hit that like button and maybe even share this video with friends or family that you know love gardening. Don't forget to hit subscribe if you haven't already and hit that notification bell so that you'll know when the next video is up. I aim to post more intentional creative living content every Friday. So thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll see you next time. Unless you want to hang out some more, in which case YouTube thinks that you would enjoy this video. This is my most recent video, and this is a playlist that you might be interested in. Have a good one.